What you're about to hear is the true account of how an ordinary moment spiraled into a waking nightmare. A couple of winters ago, I decided to go solo camping. My husky, Coda, was my only companion. I needed total isolation, so I drove deep into a national forest down a service road that was more ice than gravel. After an hour, I parked at a forgotten trailhead and hiked another half-mile to a pristine clearing. The snow was a blank canvas, undisturbed for weeks. Perfect. I set up my four-season tent, driving the stakes into the frozen earth. Coda explored, his paws crunching in the powder. Once camp was built, I got a fire going, cooked a simple dinner, and soaked in the heavy silence. My dad once told me snow has a way of swallowing sound. He was right. That's when Coda's head snapped toward the tree line, a low growl building in his chest. He barked, sharp and sudden. Probably a deer, I thought. I calmed him, but 20 minutes later he was on his feet again, barking incessantly. Then I heard it too, the unmistakable crunch of boots compacting snow. It stopped, then started again, closer. Coda fell silent, his body rigid, staring into the blackness. My eyes adjusted. A figure stood at the edge of the firelight, partially hidden by pines. My heart hammered. I called out, my voice too loud in the quiet, saying he'd startled us. The shape didn't move. Then it took one step forward, a man. His voice was flat, devoid of warmth. "You're pretty far out here alone." I stated I was just camping with my dog. He didn't reply. The air turned thick. I mentioned as calmly as I could that I was carrying a weapon. He let out a short, humorless laugh. "Not very neighborly," he said, before turning and melting back into the woods. I listened to his footsteps fade, but the dread didn't leave with him. I doused the fire completely, buried the embers in snow, and retreated to my tent. I zipped us in, layered up in my sleeping bag, with Coda pressed against me for warmth. The silence was absolute. Then Coda growled again, and I heard it. Footsteps, circling. They stopped, started again, now right outside the nylon wall of the tent. I felt the subtle compression of snow as someone stood there, just breathing. Coda let out a warning howl. I shushed him, fear like ice in my veins. My hand was on my pistol, but the thought of using it was a terror in itself. Finally, I couldn't take the pressure. I racked the slide, the sounds metallic and final in the small space. "I am armed. Leave now." A pause. Then footsteps retreating, quickly this time. In the deep woods, the line between solitude and vulnerability vanishes. We waited, frozen until dawn's first gray light. I packed in a frantic rush and never looked back. Some people just radiate a wrongness you feel in your bones. This story reminds us that the world holds pockets of profound unease. If they gripped you, please show some support. A like and subscribe go a long way in helping winds of thought bring more of these narratives to light.